Like, you're like the flavor in my life. Like, you make my life sweet. You know that. 16 years? If you were bitter, I would have run away. But
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is Real Crime Uncovered, your ultimate destination for heart-pounding and thought-provoking crime stories. On the 7th of May 1980, the beautiful family of Alhaji Jamiu and Alhaja Ralat Ninalowo welcomed a bouncing baby boy into their family. That was their second child, and he was such a beauty to behold. Few years afterwards, their family was blessed with 6 amazing kids that made a total of 8 children blessed into their home. The second of those 8 children of Alhaji Jamiu's children turned out to be none other but our own Nollywood screen god, known as Bunmi Ninalowo. Ninalowo, as stated, was born on the 7th of May 1980. He was such a charming kid, and he grew up with his charming looks, not losing any inch or any ounce of those charms that he had from childhood. Ninalowo is popularly known as Nino B. Nino B had his primary and secondary education in Nigeria, and thereafter he proceeded to Chicago, United States of America, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in accounting from the Devry University. He didn't stop at that. He was so ambitious. He wanted more for himself. He wanted another feather that could distinguish him from the regular. So he went on to obtain a master's degree in marketing from the Keller's Graduate School of Management in United States of America. Shortly after he obtained all these degrees, he got a job in the banking sector. As an accountant, he began to work, but this young man was not so fulfilled in his job. He wanted much more out of life than just walking into an office wearing a good-looking suit and a tie. He knew he had so much to offer, and his focus was away from the banking sector. It was much more in the entertainment sector. And what was he going to do to actualize that dream? His African dream that he has always nurtured, he has always wanted to birth to life. He thought it was time to take a leap of faith on himself, and so he planned to move back to Nigeria. While he was still working in the United States of America, he decided he wanted to make a visit back home to his parents in Nigeria. And so in 2004, Ninalowo traveled all the way from the United States back to Nigeria, where his parents reside. 2 weeks after Ninalowo returned to Nigeria, his mother was to attend a wedding, and she decided to invite him so she could show him off to her friends as someone who had just returned from abroad. I mean, which mother wouldn't be proud to show off her son, who was just 24 years old, a graduate, an accountant, and also a master's holder?
I went to an event with my mom, right? I mean, she wanted to show me off, just coming right from America, you know, fresh out the oven, you know what I'm saying? So I went to this wedding with her, right? And lo and behold, I'm sitting right there, and on my right.
There at that wedding that was holding right on their street, Ninalowo met a young, beautiful lady that he couldn't take his eyes off her.
Lord behold, who is this? This pretty little thing, man, looking just like my mother.
And they got to talk. He introduced himself to that beautiful young girl, and he found out her name was Bunmi. Bunmi is a beautiful young woman who was born on the 10th of May 1981. She is just a year younger than Ninalowo. They are almost age mates. At the time they met, Ninalowo was 24 years old, while Bunmi was 23 years old. Very young and ambitious. Ninalowo fell in love with Bunmi. Immediately he set his eyes on her, and it was almost as if the feeling was mutual, because Bunmi on her own side did not hesitate to express her compliments to Ninalowo by telling him he was cute.
I said, what's up? She's like, hey, baby, you look cute. I'm like, sure, you like me already, baby. And she entered the trap.
It was love at first sight for both Ninalowo and Bunmi. The relationship between Ninalowo and Bunmi sparked immediately without any further ado. The two were so much in love that they could barely take their hands off each other. They could barely even stay off themselves. Barely 2 weeks after that relationship started, it was said that Bunmi moved in with her Prince Charming. She was not going to let any space for another woman to have this man. It was either her or no one else. So she was not going to give that room for any other woman to step into Nino's life. So she moved in with him and life was good, life was fine. These young people that were in love felt like nothing else mattered. So life was moving on smoothly. But you know what happens when people begin to have sexual relationships without protection? Sooner or later, results will come forth. Barely 6 months after their relationship started, the result of all they've been doing in their closet began to show forth. Ninalowo and Bunmi found out they were having a baby. And so Ninalowo broke the news to his parents that the girl he was dating had gotten pregnant for him. And his father told him that he would have to marry Bunmi since the pregnancy was his. That was like a stand rule. You get a woman pregnant, you wife her. No negotiation, no deliberations. Not like Ninalowo was bothered anyway. He was already so much in love with Bunmi, he wasn't going to let her go for anything. So it was all cool with him that his parents had given their consent for him to go ahead and marry her. However, the duo did not get married immediately in Nigeria. Even though they didn't get married in Nigeria, but they were making plans to officially relocate Bunmi back to United States of America where Ninalowo was residing at the time. So on March 7th, 2006, Bunmi put to bed a beautiful baby girl whom they named Aliyah. Aliyah was a beauty to behold, a spitting image of her father, Bankole Ninalowo. Ninalowo eventually completed all the paperwork he was doing to enable him relocate Bunmi, and he was able to relocate Bunmi to United States of America where they began living together. In 2007, the duo got married in a very small civil wedding. And ever since then, they've been living together as a happy couple. 2 years after the arrival of their little baby girl, Aliyah, again, their family was blessed on the 2nd of July 2008 with a bouncing baby boy, whom they named Morakinyo. What else could a beautiful young couple ask for? God has blessed their union with both baby girl and a baby boy. It was like everything was falling right in order for Ninalowo and Bunmi. In the year 2010, Ninalowo decided it was time for him to pursue his African dream, one which he had always had, he had always nurtured, waiting for the realization of same. And in that year, he knew it was time to hit the ground running. It was now or never. And so Ninalowo, who had always had his eyes in the entertainment industry, decided to take a trip back to Nigeria where he began to make the moves that he had anticipated to launch him into the entertainment industry. So coming into Nigeria as one who had planned all these years, saved money, and had returned to launch big into the entertainment industry, he came in as a movie producer.
And when I was in America, I always wanted to do films. Like, you know, I had a dream of that, and I was writing a script then. I said, look, how about I produce the script? You know, I had a little bit of cash.
That's Rebirth?
That's Rebirth.
Right.
So I did that, and it was an epic failure. You know, I was duped on a lot of things.
Right.
He sunk in so much money to produce that movie, Rebirth. He was able to do what he thought he could do, but at the end of the day, he realized that the success he had anticipated wasn't realized, and he figured it was time for him to take a step backward and see the things that needed to be done and done right. He also realized there was need for him to take a step-by-step approach in learning the ropes of the industry, knowing the who and who that mattered in the industry, and how to go about showcasing the skill that he had. And so it was time for Ninalowo to have a total change of his strategy. Not forgetting to mention that he also had a record label named Diesel.
After a year or two of depression and losing money, I don't not know what to do. And I still had a little bit of cash, and I said, look, you know what? Another thing I like to do is music. So with music, I discovered a few talents, and I became an executive, doing another thing I had no idea, no experience doing.
And in that record label, he had signed on 3 artists. Somehow, that ended up as another colossal failure, unfortunately. Even though it appeared as a failure, Ninalowo considered all these as stepping stones to his success that he's enjoying today.
But it was the beginning of my journey. It was the beginning of the success I am today. I say that the seeds of my success are buried in my failure.
I mean, there is no success story without failures on the path. It all depends on how you decide to handle yours. And so in his moments of pains, regret, and disappointment, he was also thinking of the next better approach to embark with. So he remembered he had a family friend who was big in the movie industry at the time. And that family friend was no other person but Rookie Sanda. If you know Rookie Sanda very well, you would agree Rookie Sanda was a big player in the Nollywood industry at the time. Now, that was the time when Ninalowo sorted for her support. Rookie Sanda, however, did not hold back. She was happy to help Ninalowo as she gave him a role in one of her movies. That was the beginning of the Nollywood journey for Ninalowo. Ninalowo finally launched into the Nollywood in full. And like you see, he has the body, the six-pack, the height, the physique, the looks. He has that smile that captivates every woman he comes in contact with. With all this body package, Ninalowo was in for a long ride in the Nollywood movie industry. He started by showcasing his skills, one that couldn't go unnoticed by the viewers. Who is this Prince Charming gracing our screens? It didn't take long before the viewers took note of every little detail about Ninalowo. The women wanted him. The fans wanted him. The actresses wanted him. He was every woman's dream. With such an amazing body and good looks, you know that it will only take the grace of God for a man like Ninalowo to remain fully faithful to his wife, who was living miles away from him in the United States of America. As much as love is said to be a beautiful thing, the end of it is never certain to be a beautiful one. Unlike the Mills and Bones stories that we've read and are still reading, love in reality sometimes have very bitter and regretful endings. After being married for 12 good years, the union between Bunmi and Ninalowo hits the rocks. Ninalowo must have forgotten that there are times when enough is said to be enough. A woman would get to that point, however patient she is, where she says enough is enough. Now, that was the situation in 2015 when the marriage between Bunmi and Ninalowo broke down after hitting the rocks. The duo had to separate and leave a path. That separation went as long as 2 years. It was during that 2-year separation that Ninalowo decided to take stock of his life with Bunmi in their marriage. He decided to take stock of his own life as a person, as an individual. He told himself the truth after he did a truth-based appraisal of his behavior towards his wife. He knew it was time to let go of certain behaviors, unlearn a lot of things that he has lived by, relearn new behaviors that were going to make his marriage to work again.
So I needed to take time back to see what I had done to her. The years when I was feeling like I was still young and cheating all day, breaking her heart and everything, to the years where, okay, I wasn't there and just pursuing my dreams. But I forgot that this was a human being that was taking records.
Yeah.
And taking experiences of her life as well. So I became somebody that she didn't recognize anymore at some point, and I couldn't even call her to pick up the phone. And the same woman I had so much control over, I had no control over anymore because she outgrew me. You know what I mean? So to get that restored and to achieve that back, I needed to go back and start fresh. Detox and clear everything that I have done and seen.
It was a commitment, one he had to make deliberately and consciously, and thankfully he did make it. And in 2018, he was able to have the love of his life, the mother of his kids, back into his life, and they began living again as a couple. After that reunion, guys, their love went on another level. It was back-to-back flaunting of his wife on the social media. She, on her own part, did not also relent to flaunt her husband at every given opportunity. Their union was one that was so beautiful to watch, as they always told the world with their story pictures or picture stories that this love is here to stay and to stay forever. While the internet admirers were busy admiring and doing the oh God, when they woke up to a hard blow on the 1st of September 2023 when Ninalowo dropped a bombshell on them. He had dropped via his Instagram handle a write-up where he disclosed in summary that the union that many people have come to admire, the union between him and his wife, has sadly come to an end, and they were heading towards irreconcilable dissolution of their marriage. He said he had to make the decision considering his health and mental health. He had fought hard to stay in the marriage for the sake of his children, whom he wanted to be in their lives. But thankfully, they've now come of age and they had to do what they had to do. But he said himself and Bunmi were going to continue to prioritize what matters the most to both of them, and those are their kids. He, however, pleaded with the public to respect their privacy at such times. Internet warrior said, "We no go gree, oh, you must tell us." They said, "How can you tell us to respect your privacy? We were on our own when you first invaded our own privacy by posting random pictures of you and your wife in love, vacations, videos. It wasn't bad. We admired them. We wanted to be like you people. How do you wake up one morning and throw such a devastating news on us and ask us to respect your privacy?" They were like, "Hey, uncle, come closer. Come closer. There's no privacy here. We have to tackle this issue. Come and tell us what made you to end the union between you and this beautiful woman, one whom you both appear perfect together on all levels." As a matter of fact, if physical compatibility and physical appearance were to be the standard for marriages that will last, that of Ninalowo and Bunmi would have taken the crown, because this couple appear perfect on the outside on all levels. What could have gone wrong? Many people asked a lot of questions. Of course, people were sitting on different divides, holding different opinions. And one school of thought held the view that Ninalowo must be the cause, because they remember when Gist lover dropped that gist that Ninalowo was having extramarital affairs with not just one woman but other several women. So they thought that that news must have shook the foundation of their union once again, to the extent that his wife probably could not continue to put up with him, and so they had to end the union. While this group of people held that view, another group said, no, why would you be quick to point fingers at Ninalowo? His wife is equally beautiful. If you are accusing Ninalowo because you think he's good looking and he's in the movie industry exposed to a lot of pretty women, what about his wife? She may not be in Nollywood, but she is all good looking. And we may not know what she may have done during the pendency of their marriage. A man may not come out to say it all to protect his children in future. So hang it there with all the pointing of fingers until Ninalowo or Bunmi comes out to say, this is what happens. None of it gets to point at our Ninalowo. Talking about Ninalowo's fans. Unlike the beautiful beginning of their love story, their marriage unfortunately ended on a sad note. Others have since asked, what could have gone wrong? How does love suddenly turn to hate between two individuals who once couldn't take their eyes nor their hands off themselves? What exactly goes wrong in some love stories that leads to sad endings as this? As much as we would have loved to see Ninalowo together with his beautiful wife forever for the rest of their lives, we have come to accept their reality on ground, and we can only wish them well and pray that they maintain a good relationship, that a healthy relationship will still exist between them. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? If you're new to my channel or you've been watching my videos without subscribing, please and please don't leave without subscribing. Hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, and don't fail to turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when next we upload a story. And if you enjoy following the story, give us a thumbs up. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think would have led to this irreconcilable journey to dissolution of marriage between Ninalowo and his beautiful wife, Bunmi? Do you think they could have salvaged their marriage if they had done something differently? Or do you think that destiny would always find us out and play out? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So guys, take care of yourself, take care of your emotions, take care of your mental health. Be kind to yourself, be kind to the people around you, and always, always stay safe. I remain Dorcas Ige Olokun, and I love you all.